And welcome in to Tennessee Tuesday. On this Tuesday evening, it's June the 16th. I'm your host, John Blankenship, joined by my two special guests this evening. Our first Lieutenant Commander of the Tennessee Division, Mr. Richard Garcia, and our second Lieutenant Commander, Sean Hill. The guys join me this evening, and we're looking forward to a good program tonight. Jason Boshears is at his camp meeting tonight that he is leading, so Jason's off with us this week. But first, let's start out our show with our disclaimer. Views and opinions that you hear on tonight's broadcast are solely our own, not of the SCV, the GEC, brigades, divisions, camps, or other subsidiaries of our organization, solely our own tonight. And we are glad that you are with us, and it's good to be back with you after a few days. Always look forward to Tennessee Tuesday, and this evening we have a special show as we're going to be talking about the Forrest homecoming that'll be taking place in Chapel Hill this Saturday. We've been getting ready for that. That's a big yearly event that we have in Tennessee. It's put on by the national organization. The guys of the Tennessee Division help organize and plan for the event. It's going to be a good time coming up this Saturday, and we look forward to being there with you, and we want to talk all about that tonight with the two gentlemen that you see on with us. But before we officially introduce them and jump into our conversation, guys, I want to say hello to a few folks that are on with us this evening. And the award goes to Mr. Owens, who is our first one to comment this evening. I'm not sure what the award is, but he has won it. If there was an award, he has gotten it. So we're good to have him back with us this evening. Also, my friend Randy from Union City joining us tonight. Just saw him on Sunday afternoon at their camp meeting at Otho French Draw Camp 176. Mr. Elliot Jackson joining us there from the John Hunt Morgan Camp 270. Glad to have Elliot on with us this evening. Some more of our regulars tonight, guys, joining us. Mr. Johnny Jenkins from the Ozarks there of Springfield, Missouri. He's on with us tonight. Also, some others that are joining in early on. Mr. Chuck Roydhouse joining us as he does each program. Always glad to have Chuck, and we've got some photographs from him tonight. They've been active up in Lebanon, and we're going to share some of the events they've been involved in later on in the show. Daniel joining us tonight. Good evening to him. Glad to have him here. Rich from your camp, one David Daniels, who is our division genealogist. David on tonight. Good to see him. Hope they're doing well. Also, Toby joining us this evening. Hope all is good with him. We're glad to have him this evening. Mr. Charles LeRae is on tonight from South Louisiana. Hope all is well with Charles. And we look forward to having him on again with us, and also Roy Hudson a little closer sometime either really late this month or 1st of July. Going to reach out to both of those guys, and as we get closer to the national election, we'll give them another chance to share their platform here on the program. And again, Mr. Owens there, cool that he has won the award. I wish I had a big one to give him tonight. Maybe eventually we'll be able to give those awards out. We'll create one and maybe have something nice to give out eventually there. But we do appreciate our folks being with us tonight. And let's say hello to our special guests. Of course, they're not just guests. They're almost like regular co-hosts from time to time, Rich Garcia and Sean Hill. Guys, how y'all doing this evening?
Good.
Real good. So far, so good.
Well, we're getting ready for a busy end of the week. I know Sean is closer than me and you, Rich, to the boyhood home in Chapel Hill. So we've all been working on this event. Sean has been out there, and he's going to have some updates from the site. So, guys, let's first talk about what's coming up for folks that don't know or haven't been. It's the Nathan Bedford Forrest Boyhood Home is where we hold this event every year. It's our homecoming celebration there and Heritage Festival. Will be this Saturday, June 20th from 9 till 4. Again, the admission is $10 for adults. Kids 6 and under get in free. It is a big fundraiser for the national organization, as this property is owned by SCB National, and the Tennessee division helps out in organizing this event. So we've got a lot to talk about tonight and things coming up, and we'll just jump right in. Sean, you've been the man on the ground here the last couple of days. How are things coming together?
It's coming together real good. We've had a good group of people out there working the last couple of weeks, and we'll be ready to go Saturday morning as usual.
Well, of course, it sounds so easy. When you get there, it looks like it gets perfect and everything is just hunky-dory. Everything is like it should happen. We wrote it down. It happened just like that. But there's a lot going into an event like this to get up to it. We started planning really, guys, right after last year's, we started talking. And then even after the first year, we've had several Zoom meetings to put this event all together.
I start working on it in really hard in January, making reservations with people, with vendors to bring tents and the portable toilets and stuff like that. I start working on that in January every year.
Well, of course, a lot going on out there besides just the event Saturday, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this. And I know folks have been asking, what is the status of Forrest Hall? And if you're asking that status, you probably know what the project is. If you don't know what Forrest Hall is, we'll kind of explain that to you. That is, to start with, it's a multi-phase project. In the first phase here, we're constructing that the Tennessee Division has helped lead on with donation from our members and others, is a pavilion. Right now, it will be an open-air pavilion. And I just got the word from Jason Boshears this afternoon. He has talked to our contractor, and they plan to start having material out there. I believe it's the 24th, so that'll be next week. My guess would be they're going to wait till after our event before they start bringing materials on the site. The concrete pad is there. They're going to start erecting that pavilion. I'm sure it'll take a few weeks to get that done. And also there's work being done on what we'll call the front part of the pavilion, which will be the enclosed part right now, which will have bathrooms, a kitchenette, an office space, and maybe even a small meeting room. Their work has started. Sean, I'll let you kind of jump in here on that portion as well.
Yes, they have started framing the interior walls, and of course the pavilion top will go up over it, but there are walls that are already standing up. So and there's material out there for that. We're going to rope it off and ask everybody to stay out of it for safety reasons. As that construction is started, you can see it from a distance, take photographs and look at it from a distance, but we don't want to get folks too close to it. Just for safety, you want to keep people safe, as there are construction materials around land. We don't need somebody to step on something. So we will have that area blocked off, so to speak, but you'll still be able to see where it's at. And a lot of stuff going on. Of course, the big open air pavilion, WW Woodworks is the contractor that bid on it and was chosen by the division to build that part of the pavilion. So it's coming along. I had a little hiccup or two along the way to get it to this point. I know, and Sean, you may want to talk about a little bit about that. Some brackets that had to be changed. And this is part of construction. You expect these things. Yeah, there was some the civil engineer that drew the plans drew the brackets for a different size post than what we were buying. And we were all ready to order materials, and the pavilion would have already probably been up, but the brackets were wrong. So we had to have that re-engineered and then remade, and that's kind of where we're at. We're a couple of weeks behind where we wanted to be.
So, yeah, we really hope that some of that would have been up before the homecoming. But again, there is stuff you're going to see happening out there. The division has invested a good bit of funding in this ourselves, along with donations to make this happen. And it's just going to make, guys, the property so much better. And Rich can jump in here on this one. Of course, we hold a couple of events, this event, as well as our flag retirement ceremony we hold out there. And this year, due to weather, it prevented us from doing that. We had to cancel that event. So once this is completed, this is going to help us with these kind of events that we do have a place to stay in the dry.
Yeah, so it's kind of disappointing not having the flag event. We were looking forward to it. This flag group was started, I think, under Joey Nolan when he was the commander, and it's slowly growing and growing and getting more popular. And we look forward to this to set up. That way we don't have to worry. We were having discussions before we got rained out. It was going, should we not? So this will help. And also, too, John, I was going to throw some out there.
Yeah.
Maybe do you think if we could have a memorial service and what was it, a time capsule put in?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Cornerstone, once we get it all up and ready out there, I know Sean's out there working, have something set up there that we could mark it permanently, and then down the road, when I'm gone and you guys are still there, you guys can pop open that capsule to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's a neat idea. Of course, that's something our ancestors did with the monuments too. They always put those time capsules in them. We're kind of building a monument in a way. So yeah, we need to do that. That's a good idea, Rich. I like that.
Right, cool.
I like that.
That's why we keep you on board with us, Rich, for these great ideas you bring us. Again, it's going to be a big time Saturday. We see David Daniels commented here. Weather for Saturday's Forrest homecoming: no rain, low humidity with a light breeze, perfect weather. I'm holding him to that. So if something happens, he's buying our meals, guys. But we're hoping for perfect weather. We love being at the Boyhood Home. Been there when it's been hot, been there when it's been rainy, but it's always been a successful event. So much is going to be happening. And let's kind of jump in now more to our discussion, guys, on the home itself and what's going to be happening there on Saturday. And as you see the poster there on the screen again, Sean, you want to jump in on some of these? You kind of helped organize these and the program for the day. You see we've got the different demonstrations there with cavalry, infantry, and artillery. There's going to be music, the Sutlers with things for sale, food and drinks there, home tours and lectures. Let's kind of talk about the schedule, Sean, if you want to. Kind of give the folks ideas of kind of who's going to be there.
Well, opening ceremonies are going to be at 9 o'clock. John, you are going to serve as our main MC for the day. And I know we've got some local dignitaries, politicians coming. And we've got a local act that is some SCV members out of the Fayetteville camp. And Tater and Joe, and they will be one of our early musical acts. And then, of course, CIC Kennedy from the SCV, the commander-in-chief of the SCV, will be there. He'll be speaking. Past CIC, Larry McClooney, who is an author, he will be there speaking and selling books. There's a guy from, I believe it's Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's around the Cokeville area, Herschel Meadows.
Yes, Herschel Meadows, Dillinger Camp.
He's really good. He's a good country type artist, and he was there last year, and he's impressive. He's going to perform a couple of times.
Yes, he's
and
a good guy.
I know we've got some artillery committed. We've got the reenactors of 7th Tennessee Cavalry Company B, I believe it is, coming, and then some of the reenactment infantry groups are coming. We always put on a good show, always have several field pieces and this year we're going to have a local photographer with a drone out there video and everything.
Nice.
So in a future Tennessee Tuesday chat, we'll show some of that video once we get it.
Are you Sean, are we still getting an ambulance from the John Hunt Morgan camp?
Yes, John.
Yes.
I was going to say that.
Oh, sorry.
Elliot and them from John Hunt Morgan
Yes.
camp. They're bringing their ambulance and display, Civil War era display. We may have some other ones like that too.
Wesley Franks from the issue.
Wesley Frank. Yeah. They're going to be there. So it's going to be educational all the way around. Good authors, good speakers, a lot of good stuff to buy. And of course, we always have the silent auction where you can bid on stuff that's been donated by our members. I know Lee Miller has cleaned out one of his closets, and he's bringing several boxes.
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
So that'll be quality stuff, Lee.
So get there early so you can put your bid in, or
get there early and put your bid in. I think the silent auction ends around 2 or 2:30. It's on the schedule.
Yeah. Well, we've got a good schedule of things to happen, and also Jason's been helping coordinate here our booths that'll be set up there with the different items for sale and showcasing what they do. And we've kind of talked about some of those, but I do have a list, Sean, we've got that Jason gave us. We want to go through as of now the ones that have a booth space, that have purchased booth space there for Saturday. The Thomas Benton Smith camp, 2177, will have a booth. Aunt Polly's Highland Roses, number 10. Dwight Johnson, Ellen Cooper, the Forrest Cavalry Corps will have a booth. The Jane Simmons Davis Murfreesboro Camp 33 will combine there for a booth together. John Warren, Lee Miller, of course, has a booth. The Officer House Foundation, which you learned about on the last program with Jimmy Vincent and the good work there, they'll have a booth set up. Also, the Simonton Wilcox Camp 257 will be set up with a booth. Others include the Sophie Riley Hatton OCR, number 24, will be there. The Southern Independence Association, Tennessee Backroads Heritage, the Tennessee Society of Order of Confederate Roses has their statewide booth set up, as well as the UDC Chapter 2505 will be there, and the Unknown Confederate Missing in Action Camp will also have a booth, and that's the ones we know about so far. There may be a few others that come in here before Saturday that will be there with us. And many different things for sale. If you want something Confederate-oriented, guys, that's a good time to stock up and take your things home.
And we are doing hot dogs and hamburgers for donations. We're not selling them, but we will take donations.
Is there a suggested donation amount, Sean? Let me ask you that.
There is. Like $7 for a hamburger combo, and I think $5 for a hot dog combo. My wife and several other of the OCR ladies in their group are meeting right now, determining that. So,
well, again, a great work, folks cooking. Man, I've got to give a shout out to that. I know Mitch was there. It was either last year or the year before last when it was so hot, and he was there by that griddle and that stuff cooking. I'm like, man, he is dedicated. So
he'll be doing it again.
Bring that food.
He'll be doing it again this year. So
we got to make sure we've got him a good fan this year. I think we've arranged for him to have a little air.
We've got a couple of fans lined up for all of the cook staff.
Well, a shout out to past Commander-in-Chief Tom Strain joining us this evening. Now, Tom will tell me, guys, that we have a time limit we have to talk within and not go 2 or 2.5 hours. So Tom will stay with us the whole night if we keep it to an hour. We'll see. We'll see how we go. We appreciate him jumping in, and lots of folks joining us as well. Here's a new listener and viewer tonight, Michael Williams. I don't know if he's been on with us before, but if he has, this is the first time I've seen a comment there from Sunbury, Ohio. Wow. Good to have some new folks watching this evening. Of course, Commander James Price joining us, and I've got a photograph from his camp. I was there this past Thursday, and a good meeting with them. Also, Al joining us this evening, as always, from Tullahoma. Good to have him here. And David Pope checking in from Camp 87. Good to see David tonight. And also Keith joining us. So there's just a few folks. And one more here, Josh Dowdy joining us from Gallatin. So good to have Josh on with us this evening. Some new viewers, and we encourage you to share these videos out. That's how this channel will grow. The more you share, the more you put out there. So lots of things happening across the division, guys. And of course, this one is a big highlight for us here in the Tennessee division coming up this Saturday. Again, it's all day long from 9 until 4. We encourage you to get there at 9. Now, some folks like to come early, and I would encourage you to be there at 9 because there's still some setup things happening a little beforehand, but the event will officially start at 9 o'clock. You can stay a little while, stay all day, and always a fun time, good time to see folks, and it's always a good crowd too. Sean, let's talk about folks that may be deciding on whether they should come, where they should stay at. There's a couple of options. Of course, I'm going to stay at the Henry Horton State Park, which is probably the closer of the locations to stay.
It is a little bit closer than the hotels at exit 46 on I-65.
And it's cheaper too.
And it's probably a little cheaper.
Yeah.
The hotels at exit 46 are going to be your name brand. I know they got a Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah.
Maybe
I've stayed at 2 or 3 of them. I don't remember all their
Yeah,
names.
I don't
They're nice.
remember.
They're nice hotels there.
It was Clarion and maybe one of the Hilton chains that's rebadged a little bit or something.
Yeah, and the park itself is getting remodeled. They have a nice setup right now over there.
They do.
Yeah,
and they're building a new hotel there.
Yes, a resort, just like up West Tennessee.
Yeah,
nice large resort.
Yeah, it's going to be nice. I noticed when I booked my room there for Friday night that they do clearly note that there is a lot of construction happening on the site. So if you get there, be prepared for that if you're staying at that location. But always a good time there at Henry Horton State Park, and then come be with us all day on Saturday. Guys, what about volunteers? Sean, do you need anybody else to help? I know we can never have enough people helping.
We can never have enough people, especially there that tear down Saturday evening. We need a few people, few SCV members, if they will, stay around and help us take down the tents and put them back up. We've kind of got a system now where we put them all and it's kind of organized. That way it's easier to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, there is a plan to the madness, I guess you would say. Of course, they have places they go, and they're going to be neatly organized. Of course, show a photograph here of the home. This is one Jason shared. I think it's from 2012 before we redid one of the sidewalks there to the second set of stairs. But while you're there, make sure you tour the home. There'll be tours given of the home, and folks will tell you a little bit more history to it if you've never been to the site before. I do want to shout out to Gene Andrews, of course, guys. He is the man that's always on the property and has been for years to make sure it looks as good as it does. So a shout out to Gene, and also he has other workers that help him too. But Gene has spearheaded many of these projects that you've seen and made sure they've happened. And again, we have to give credit to where credit is due. The home wouldn't be what it is without the work of Gene Andrews. So we do appreciate all his dedication, and he'll be there, of course, on Saturday too. He'll be a busy man. Now, he usually tells us something about he's in charge of the bathrooms and the toilet paper. But Gene is all over the place, and he'll make sure the event comes together and maintains that site. A couple of things we want you to note as you come into the property. There's several things to see. There's several monuments as you come into the main drive. If you've never been there, make sure you stop and pull off to the side, walk back up to those and look at those. But as you come into the main gates off the roadway, note that there's a little damage to those gates. So they're not always looking like that. So they're under construction. A little accident happened several weeks ago that they got bent. So if you notice the gates, they are going to be repaired and fixed. That just hasn't been able to be done before homecoming to get that scheduled. So if you notice the caution tape, that's what's going on with the gates. They will be repaired as well. So any old properties and sites, it's always something to do, isn't it, guys?
Always.
Be prepared when you travel over there, because sometimes GPS won't pick you up on your devices and you will get lost.
There is a big 4 foot by 4 foot sign. It's actually an 8 foot sheet of plywood cut in half. So one side of it faces north and the other side faces south at the entrance to the home. Yeah. So you won't miss it.
If you come in the back way off of 840, going through Chapel Hill, or back in there, that's where I come in. The roads get kind of little curvy, right turn here, left turn here, and you will lose GPS. Yeah,
be cautious of that. Make sure you plan your way out there. Yeah. But after you do it a time or two, and that is tricky, guys. I'll say that every time I have to come, I have to think about it because there's a couple of turns where you'll turn off. You don't want to make sure you miss it. But there are signs out there so that you can't miss to get you in the right way.
If you're coming down 99 and you turn off 99 there at the I forget what the name of that road is, but it's the one going north that you turn off. and then there's a curve. Well, there's a sign in that curve that tells you to continue north, which is to the right, to go to the Forrest Boyd home, because you go around the curve that looks almost identical to the one that you turn at.
Yeah,
so
it does.
There's a permanent road sign there pointing you to keep to the right, to get to the Forrest.
Yeah, if you're not careful, you'll miss that one. I know the exact
down
turn
the
you're
wrong
talking
road.
about, because they look almost identical.
They do.
A beautiful sight it is, guys. If you've never been, I know a lot that are watching and comment tonight have been, but there's always new people every year that come be with us. You don't have to be, let me tell you this, if you're watching this or somebody's sharing it tonight, you don't have to be an SCB member to come to the property. It's open. Just pay your $10, come in and spend the day, and we hope you enjoy the event. And we want it to be educational and also fun. As we mentioned, the auction, that's always a good day to take some items home. And guys, we want to raise as much money as possible for the upkeep of the property. But no, if you bid on items at auction, you usually get some pretty good deals on some good things. So come in and put your bid. And if you have some auction items that are worthy, that you think people would be interested in, you can bring those with you on Saturday. We could always have 2 or 3 extra things there for folks to bid upon. But I always do ask you, consider it if it's something that you would want yourself, that it's put out there that you think people would bid upon. And I've gotten some neat things. Now, one of the prizes, now he's not watching tonight, the prize possessions, I wish I had it here to show you, that I won a few years ago on a bid. Our very own past division commander, Joey Nolan, used some of his artistic skill and painted a picture of the mega flag at the Trimble flag site. And I could not leave there without bringing that home. I just felt bad if I didn't own that, being in West Tennessee and not own that. So I do have it. And it's actually, well, it was hanging up. So you never know. You may get something like that from Joey. And Joey may go back and watch this video and pick at me while I'm talking about his artwork. But there's some good stuff there, some neat things. I brought some neat books home, some neat portraits as well. It's a good time to take you some Southern history home with you as well. So, guys, looks like it's going to be a good event. Again, anything else, Sean, Rich, you think folks need to know about before they come?
I was going to say, if you invite all your friends, spread it around in your community Facebook chats, family chats, everything, spread it around. If you do bring anybody that's not a non-NCV member, we'll have a heritage recruitment table set up. So we'll right in front, and we could work some out with them and help them out and get their trek started under the SCV. So we'll be there ready to go to help anybody that wants to join.
A good point. It's a recruiting opportunity as well, because there's a lot of non-members that come to this event. Yeah. We'd like to try to get them as members. Want to say hello to Floyd Harvey joining us tonight from the Keller Camp in Hot Springs. Hope he's doing well tonight. Always glad to have him on. A question here from Dustin. Yes, several years ago, we always had flags at the entrance during the event. Notice the last couple of years they have not been. Sean, do you want to comment? Do you know? I know we've had some flags, sometimes more, sometimes less.
We do. Some of it depends on the weather the preceding week. Of course, if it's going to be thunderstorms, we don't want to leave them out because, several years ago we had all of our tents damaged because we put them out before and had a thunderstorm. But
more or less a time thing and volunteer help to get them put out, get the stakes down.
Yeah, and we will. We've got plans to put them out this year, so they should be going down the drive like you've seen in years past. This year, because we're planning to do it.
Charles says they're a great idea. I believe he's directing that at you, Rich. Great idea for recruitment.
Also, if you're going to get hooked up with a lot of Confederate stuff, Dustin's Camp has a large trailer. They have a couple of catalogs. I'm not sure, Dustin, correct me. And you just skip through the catalogs and give them an ID number, and they'll go back in the trailer and pick up the item you want. They're high tech, coming from the Portland camp.
Yep, so good stuff.
Well, they are really a lot of good stuff.
Take you some things home. It's a good weekend to shop. Bring you some money with you. Bring you some cash, and buy you some stuff and take it home. Eat you something good. Now, let me ask you this here, Sean. I may be stepping out. I know Mandy hadn't felt the best. Is there going to be banana pudding there Saturday?
No
banana pudding Saturday this year.
No banana pudding Saturday.
What about Friday night for the volunteers?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
We have, if you don't know what we're talking about, Sean's wife is an excellent cook and does a fantastic job making us guys larger than we already are. with delicious banana pudding. So we do appreciate all she does. Sean, make sure you tell her I hope she feels better.
I will.
Let's see here. Dustin jumped into over 50 different flags in stock. There you go.
Yeah, there it is. That's where I get my flags from Miss Camp.
Yep,
absolutely.
We usually get several every year for them because we have cemeteries. The one at Farmington, we fly 3 flags out there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, get your flags, stock up, get them while they're there, and make sure you got plenty in stock. Well, guys, it's about 7:30 now. Let's go ahead and take our first break. We'll talk about our sponsors here for a moment, then we'll come back and we'll talk about some other things going on in the division. We've got some photographs to share tonight, let you guys jump in on it as well, and things that y'all have got going on. But first, let's say shout out to some of our sponsors this evening. Again, if you would like to be a member and help support Tennessee Tuesday and all of the SCV chat programs, you can do so by becoming a Patreon member. You can visit scvchat.com. It's the easiest way there. You'll find a link to Patreon, and there's different levels that you can join. And these names that you see scrolling at the bottom are those that have supported SCV Chat and Tennessee Tuesday and all the programs you hear on the network. Without them, we wouldn't be able to continue to bring you this Southern History and Heritage programming, and we're glad to be able to offer that with your support. So consider becoming a Patreon member of Tennessee Tuesday and SCV Chat, and you'll be able to continue this for long years to come and the programming that is offered. So also, we want to say a special thanks to our regular show sponsors tonight that spend a little bit more and they pay $80 a month. You can be one of those, and you can have your business featured or your organization by reaching out to us here. And one of those is Dr. Chris Cummings, who is in Oxford, Mississippi. He is a medical doctor and does a fantastic job taking care of that knee pain and those joint pain. He specializes in that. So go see Dr. Chris Cummings, Modern Medicine with Southern Hospitality. There you see his website, which is cmc-md.org is where you go to learn more about Dr. Chris Cummings. Also tonight, a shout out to 31st Reg Engraving. We appreciate their sponsorship and support of the program. You see some of the items that they have to offer there. You see the bracelet that Harrison Dawes or Moose wears. He has one with his ancestor's name. You can get that and the other custom items and many more by going to 31stregengraving.com to learn more. Also, past Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney and his book, Paradox of Freedom, is now available at booksbylarry.com. Larry's been on with us several times, and more recently, we talked about Paradox of Freedom. A great conversation, a very interesting book, and it's one of those I keep going back to read again, to do my own research from. And Larry does a great job, a great author, and has several books to his name, and a new one hopes to come out late this fall into next year. So you can visit booksbylarry.com. Also, Beauregard's Tailor is one of our sponsors as well. They're a family-owned business that offers reproductions, T-shirts, they have flags, lapel pins, and more. You can learn more about all the products they have to offer by visiting their website, which is beauregardstailor.shop, beauregardstailor.shop. Also, the museum at Market Hall open Thursday through Sunday, 11 till 4. When the flag is out, they are open. They are in Charleston, South Carolina. And that Confederate Museum has been there since 1899. When we were in Charleston, South Carolina a few years ago, got to tour that museum. And it's a fine Confederate museum. And they have many products available as well in their gift shop. And you can visit them online on Facebook as well as their website to learn more. Also, the Sam Davis Home and Museum is open. If you've never been to Smyrna, you need to make a trip there and spend a weekend, and even during the week as well, and tour the historic Sam Davis Home and their museum too. You can see the home that Sam lived in and also go to the gravesite, the boyhood hero of the Confederacy, Sam Davis. Again, that's in Smyrna, samdavishome.org. You can learn more about a visit and tours. And also, if you would like to become a member of the Sam Davis Memorial Association, you can visit that website as well, samdavishome.org, and all the details are found there. So thanks to the Sam Davis Home and all of our sponsors tonight, making Tennessee Tuesday possible. Well, we'll be right back after this. Stay with us.
Was your great-grandfather a traitor or a patriot? Today's politically correct are trying hard to take away the heritage of the brave Confederate soldiers who fought and died for their land. But one thing is certain, they can't change history. Those Confederate soldiers were fighting for the same reason soldiers fight today. They were fighting against homeland invasion. We believe that the desecration of the bravery, patriotism, and honor of those men should not be allowed. They were outmanned and outsupplied, but they were never outfought. They were proud men who believed in fighting to protect their dignity, their homes, and their families. If you're the male descendant of a Confederate soldier, we'd welcome you to join with us in the preservation of that heritage. We're the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Check us out on the internet at scv.org or call us at 800-MY-SOUTH. That's 800-697-6884. Sons of Confederate Veterans, dedicated to preserving the reputation of men like Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, and your great-grandfather.
Samuel R. Watkins, 1839 to 1901. Sam Watkins of Murray County, Tennessee, is remembered as one of the most well-known Confederate soldiers through his service and his words. Enlisting as a private in Company H, 1st Tennessee Infantry, Watkins served throughout the war between the states, fighting in many of its hardest battles, including Shiloh, Chickamauga, and Franklin. Like so many soldiers, he endured the hardships of war, witnessing both the courage and the cost of conflict firsthand. After the war, Watkins returned home and later wrote his memoir, Company H, one of the most widely read personal accounts of a Confederate soldier. His writings provide a vivid and human perspective on the everyday experiences of those who served. Today, Sam Watkins is remembered not only for his military service, but for preserving the story of the common Confederate soldier for future generations. To learn more historical facts about Confederate veterans, visit TennesseeSCV.org. And welcome back into our program, Tennessee Tuesday. Thank you for watching tonight. I'm your host, John Blankenship, joined by my co-hosts tonight, Richard Garcia and Sean Hill. We've got the command staff of the Tennessee Division together tonight to be talking about our Forrest Homecoming and Southern Heritage Festival, which is coming up this Saturday, June the 20th. Going to be a good event, guys. We're getting ready for.
It always is. This is my 15th, maybe, I think. And I've been helping put it together for about 13 of those 15 years. And we always have a good turnout. It's always good to see everybody. And it's a good time.
Yeah, always a lot of fun. You got a comment here tonight. Chuck says, Amanda is a great cook and a most excellent singer. I agree to both of those, what Chuck said,
Thank
Sean.
you.
Hey, Sean.
Go ahead, Rich.
I'm sorry. Hey, Sean, is General Lee going to be there again in attendance?
Oh, yes.
There's a photo op for the kids and everybody, the grown kids as well. General Lee will be up there right in front, right?
Yep. It'll be right in front as usual.
Everybody likes to see it and come get your picture made by those. You don't get to see those all the time out. And it's a good looking car, too.
Yeah.
It's an excellent looking car. Paul, who is the adjutant at Camp 37, owns that car. And
that's the Boy at Home camp. I mean,
Boy at Home camp. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boy at Home camp.
Yeah, appreciate him bringing that out there always. It's very popular. Lots of good things happening. And guys, let's go through a few things happening in the division right now. And I'll share a few photographs and y'all feel free to jump in on some of these pictures. This was at Camp 87 in Knoxville. I got to go up there and speak during Confederate Decoration Day. Always a nice time there at the Old Gray Cemetery in downtown Knoxville. And again, Earl and John and Kyle appreciate their hospitality and having me up there. It was a good day and a good crowd and good chance to honor our ancestors that are there. Also got to visit the grave I mentioned last week of Governor Brownlow. Wasn't the best visit I'd like to have had, but I did get to see that. For folks that know their history, they know who Brownlow is and how our ancestors were treated after the war, but he's buried there, by the way. So saw him on the way in. Here's some more photographs. Guys, y'all jump in on some of these. You see David Daniels there, and this is an event here that some of these pictures Chuck has sent us here. Chuck Roydhouse sent in to us, and we want to promote some of the different things our camps have been involved in across the division. And I was going to try to give a breakdown of that one. Guys, Rich, can you help me out on?
Yeah, that's David Daniels. He's a first lieutenant commander of Camp 65, my home camp. I'm not sure the man in the yellow is. The third person is Lucas Holt. He's the commander and a genealogist for the division. Then we have Commander Tom Wood, from Robert H. Hatton Camp, General Robert H. Hatton Camp in Lebanon, and Dr. Steve Murphy. He's the director at the Sam Davis home, and also a Camp 33 member. I'm not sure who the
Yeah, I'm
next
not sure on the
is.
other gentleman there. Mhm.
I don't know the next two guys.
Well, I believe Steve was speaking. Dr. Murphy was speaking at
Yes.
that event there,
Yes.
and I believe he was speaking on Cheatham, I believe.
Yes.
I thought
Yes.
I had the description of that, but I don't see the description. But I believe Steve was speaking at that event there.
Yeah,
So,
Dr. Murphy, guys, if you don't know, he has a multitude of programs on our speaker bureau list, and could do a Zoom program if you want. You just look it up. He has really good programs. He's been to a lot of camps, various topics. He's excellent.
absolutely. Well, this one here also sent in to us. This is Jimmy Vincent put this out there. This is the William A. Hamby camp there, and Commander Roy Blaylock, and dedicated the hard work there for the Cumberland County Heritage Festival. They hadn't been in a few years and got to come back and was allowed to be there and welcomed in. So they were excited to be there. And Jimmy told us at our DEC meeting about that on Saturday at an update. And he went over, I believe, after the meeting to that event there. And you see them gathered with the Highland Brigade's booth there at the festival. So a good job to those gentlemen, too, in the work they're doing. I got to be in Union City this past Sunday and speak to the camp, the Otho French Straw Camp 176. That's actually the camp I joined the SCV in. And you see Adjutant Barry Sowell there on the left. And, of course, Barry's doing the minutes there. Just a great program that day. And you see Randy, the camp commander, on the right. And the hay fork that you see there in front of me, and I won't tell you the whole story, that's my ancestor who I joined the SCV under, Henry Hutton Jewell. That was his. My grandmother had that for a long time, and I already had the photographs of him and things to hang on the wall and the pretty stuff, I say, but that was still in their garage, and she was using it one time, she died in 2015, so that was about 10 years before. And somehow we were talking about that. She was messing around in her garden and trying to break up ground with it, and she said who that was. She said, well, that's what was been her grandfather, my great-great-grandfather. And said, well, this was his, and it's got his initials carved into it. Well, I had no idea that existed. And I said, well, at this point, we're not going to be using that to work in the garden anymore. So a good meeting there. Got to talk about my ancestor, who is also buried, guys, in Union City. So that was, and here's a photograph. I always like these kind of pictures where you can take images out of the veterans and the people to their grave sites. And then there's a picture of him on the left later in life in the large photograph. And then the small daguerreotype is him right before the war. Then his wife, Mary Ann, is in the smaller picture over to the right. And it's interesting, that picture, she's in black mourning clothes, and the veil that she is wearing, I have the veil, and the picture was with the veil. And he died in 1899, and she died in 1909. So it was a neat opportunity to speak to them. Let's see also some other things that have been sent in to us. This is from Thursday night at the Private Ike Stone Camp based out of Henderson. We'll meet in Riggin, and was there with Commander J.R. Price. You see him standing up there leading the meeting, had a good meal, and got to speak there about our Confederate ancestors. So a good camp they've got going there and good work. And it was a new potential member that we're looking to bring back. He was an SCV member a few years ago, and he's now coming back to join us again. So great work, Commander Price, who has just recently taken over the Shiloh Brigade as the brigade commander and doing a fantastic job. Also, this one sent in to us here. Chuck put this out here. This is Chuck Roydhouse, James White, and Martin Frost there. They attended the annual Sam Davis Home Foundation meeting and from the General Hatton camp. So there's a few of them there, a picture in front of the house you see in the background. So appreciate them supporting many things across the state. And let's see, there's one more photograph, guys, that was sent in to us here. And also that Chuck had out there, and I'll share this one. Of course, that's Martin there on the left and Chuck on the right. And I believe that's the mayor of, it's either a mayor, I don't have the description for it, but they were at a special event there and attended that and got their photographs. So Chuck is doing a good job getting out, being involved in the community and being seen. And that's something important, Rich. I know you've been over recruitment in the division, and I know that's something you've worked on and encouraged to be seen in the community.
Be seen, be heard, and don't be afraid to engage with anybody. This is our heritage, and there's nothing wrong with that. There never will be nothing wrong with that, and we got to tell people that.
Absolutely. Well, one more photograph I want to share tonight, and then we'll talk about some things you guys want to talk about here is this gentleman here who just passed away in the last few days, Mr. Mike Malden, who is was a member of the Tip of Tigers camp in Ripley, Mississippi. I first got to meet Mike several years ago, right after I joined the SCB, and we reformed the Jackson camp and the John B. Ingram camp. He came up with several others, and I got to go down and speak a couple of times to them back then, and became a great friend and a great guy to the SCB, and from Ripley, Mississippi there. And his funeral, I believe, will be later on this week. But again, we wanted to mention Mr. Mike Malden passing away from the Mississippi division a couple of days ago. So a great guy, and I know they're surely going to miss Mike down there. I know he's had a long battle with cancer, so our thoughts and prayers definitely continue with the Malden family. So I wanted to mention him tonight and his service to his ancestors and the SCB, and know we're thinking about those guys down in Mississippi. So, gentlemen, that's what I have is division news tonight. What do you guys got going on? Rich, what are you up to? Let's start with you. What are you doing recruitment-wise? What's coming up?
Well, in addition to the recruitment at the Boy at Home, I'm going to start getting ready for Franklin. That's a big show for us. We'll be seen by a lot of people. And if anybody from out of state comes from an SCB camp, I encourage them to stop by and just hang out with us and recruit for their state. We're all in it together. We're all brothers. Well, we all have the same cause in our minds. So I like to see other divisions jump in with us if they're available. Also, too, is Roy Hudson will be visiting our camp and doing a Mosby program. I think he's in Tennessee.
Yeah, he's in Paris tonight. I know.
Yeah,
Camp 109. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yes, he's stopping by ours on Thursday night, and then I guess he's going on from there. To speak and to talk with the rest of the candidates. So wish them all a good job, good speaking, good topics, so we could hear them. And other than that, that's about it with me that I know of. I usually visit the Robert H. Hatton camp a lot. They're real active, and I just haven't heard anything from them, for this month.
Yeah, they got a lot going on. Lots of stuff happening. Sean, what's going on your way? I know you've been focused on the Forrest Home event coming up this Saturday, so that's kept you busy.
Yeah, it has. And just slightly before I really got hard to work on this, Rich and myself were at the Hatton camp for a Confederate memorial service the day that you were in Knoxville.
Yeah, it looks like I think Tom said 60 plus people there.
60 people. We had 7 rifles, and then I was doing my impersonation of a bugler, but we had a real good turnout, and that's always a good event. The Hatton camp is a good camp.
They do good work and very active, and Chuck has been on with us before, and we've talked about that public information officer, and then he does a really good job there of promoting what they do and putting it on social media, and gets a lot of attention and gets some likes and comments too. And that's good. We want to promote the good stuff our organization does, so they learn to know about us. And David Daniels says here, and I love that slogan there, and if they know, we will grow. And that's true. So if we put out the good work we're doing, people will want to join with us and help honor our ancestors, because that's truly all it's about. I want to mention here, Chuck said in that picture that I didn't have the details. That's the Macklemore Brigade visiting the Savage Goodner camp. I didn't have that full description there. So that's where they were visiting too. So we appreciate all those that send in photographs. And here in just a little bit, we'll tell you how you can send in yours. And Sean, I know you were going to say something else.
Yeah, John, me and you both have always said it's about preserving our ancestors' history. Mm-hmm. That's our job, to preserve it, so that future generations will have it to see and to commemorate what our ancestors did, which was defending their homeland. I know we all know the stories, but about most Confederate soldiers were defending their homeland first and foremost. Mm-hmm. But you showed that tombstone with the pictures beside it. One of my long-term goals is to not only GPS these graves, but it will be to come up with some way that we can do a QR code, maybe on a little flag stick or something, and we digitize all of the pictures and their stories, and maybe their muster rolls, which we have a lot of their muster rolls. Mm-hmm. and stuff that we get out of the archives. We have a lot of documents at headquarters that they're scanning in. So eventually we're going to be able to digitize all that. And that will be records that someone could go to that headstone, scan a QR code, and it's going to come up with that veterans page.
Yeah.
And that will also make a digital log of all this information. And that'll be around for, when our grandchildren are gone.
It's true. It's that's a very good idea, and it promotes who our ancestors are, and it gives us an opportunity to tell the story about them too. If they don't get a false narrative or something false, they get to learn who they were and learn about them.
The best stories, I think, personally, you have the historical stories that are documented. You have battle records you can look up. The best story is a family story from a grunt soldier. He was in the field. Those are the most interesting stories any compatriot can tell to another compatriot. What your ancestor did, where he died, and where he served. Those are the most interesting. How he felt, what he felt. Did he write letters home? Did he get letters in the mail? To the limited postal service that we had in the field. Did he get his paycheck? Did he send his paycheck home? Anything. Those home stories are the best.
Yeah.
So, like when we recruit, I asked a lot of guys, "Oh, I have an ancestor. Well, tell me about him." You have to ask him, and we listen and let him tell his whole story, and he'll go on and on and on. And then that's when we ask him, consider joining us. Those home stories are the best. John told about his ancestors, showed the photograph. That was really good. Sean talked about his ancestors, from North Carolina. So tell your story and let people listen. I want to hear them. Basically all of us want to hear them.
We've got to document these. These are these oral stories that come down, and we need to do, and that's a project too to work towards, is documenting these. I encourage someone, if you know a story on your ancestor and you've told it, try to write it down, record yourself with it, so it's passed on and preserved, because in time these things will get forgotten.
Yeah. And if you want to tell your story in public or in a meeting, we can hook you up and join our Tennessee Division Speaker Bureau and tell your story through us, or even at your own home camps or in your divisions. Yeah, it's a good way. I mean, once you get rolling on the story, you're gonna, and it's all gonna come out. And you're gonna feel really good.
For years, I've always had camps. Like when I was a brigade commander, they would say, "Well, we have trouble getting speakers." Well, how many members you got? Well, we got 30 members. Yeah. Well, you've got 30 programs right there.
True.
And everybody has got more than one ancestor. I mean, we've got some people that have documented 10 or 12.
And remember, guys, that story and that program doesn't have to be, we get this idea it's got to be this fancy PowerPoint presentation. No, it can be a 10-minute, you just get up and tell the story of your ancestor and a little bit about you like that. I think that's important. And it doesn't have to be a fancy program. I mean, there's some great speakers out there. But it's important you tell the story of your ancestor. Like Rich said, you make it personal. You connect it. And it's got to be the personal story. I think that's what grabs people the most. It's not just the battle flag, but it's that story that they can connect to, that's their flesh and blood.
Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff going on. We've got a lot to do, a lot of work to do. And guys, a couple of other events we want to mention coming up. And I know y'all are involved with the Sam Davis home. The Storytelling Festival is coming up on Saturday, June the 27th. Do one of y'all want to know more about that or can tell us more about it?
Rich, if you want to, or I can, whichever one.
Yeah, jump in when you can. We're going to have a second. This is the second time we're going to do this. There's going to be a children's competition and adult competition with prizes. So you'll be up there. Is it 10 minutes, Sean? 15 minutes? 10
minutes.
10 minutes. And it's a made up story, and just tell it any way you want. And there'll be judges, and we're going to have some authors there, children's authors, regular authors, old, adults. But it's gonna be a really good outing this time. Last year worked out really good. This year we fixed some of the kinks we had, and we're progressively trying to improve this. But I think we're gonna have a good turnout. So if you live in the area, come by and stop by. It's a fun deal. Sean, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I will just say, and it doesn't have to be your story doesn't have to be history related,
Mhm.
because the girl that won last year did a kind of, I won't say horror, but kind of a thriller story,
Yes.
and she won. And she was an author that wrote kind of books on that subject.
Oh, wow.
But
Mhm.
so it don't have to be a history story per se. It could be just a story that you made up, and it's, and we will have some historical speakers too, like Dr. Bradley and some other people.
Yes.
So that's
But
coming up on Saturday, June the 27th. That's not this week, but that's next week in Smyrna at the Sam Davis home from 10 till 4. I like that cash prizes awarded. There's food there, and then different vendors too. So going to be a good time, guys.
Yep.
So that's coming up again on Saturday, June the 27th. Also, one I know all three of us are attending is the national reunion of the SCV, the 131st annual reunion, which will be in Lexington, Kentucky this year. We've been talking about that a while. I know there's still time for you to register to attend the event. Now, the meals are already sold out and that deadline has passed, but if you still want to come to the business session and be there for the week of activities, I encourage you to make plans. There's still time to get a hotel room, time to get your registration in. It's really easy to do by going to 131scv.org. The website has all the details. Registration forms are there, all the costs, easy to navigate. Again, you can also call them at 502-229-2925 if you'd like to talk to someone and you have questions. Again, 131scv.org. That's coming up July the 15th through the 19th. So we're a month out, guys, to the national reunion. I do know we need more folks to be there. Someone asked me, is it expensive? Yeah, anything you go to is expensive, but it's the camaraderie, the fellowship that you have there as well. I think about our last year's national reunion, guys. I think that was one of the best I've been to, in just the fellowship outside of doing the business sessions and getting to know new people, getting to meet fellow SCV members. It's worth every bit of that, and friendships that you make that last a lifetime. That's what it's about. It's not just a convention, but it is a reunion for folks to get back together that you may only see once a year. So I encourage you, if you've never been to one, you'll want to go back every year after you do one. First one I went to several years ago, I think I've only missed one since then because it was just a little too far away for me. But I want to be at all these, and exciting things happening in Lexington just a month from now. Also, don't forget, if you're in Tennessee, want to encourage you to get your SCV tag. Again, it's available for anyone that's an SCV member or not. You can show your Southern heritage there on that tag. You see a sample of what it looks like. I have one on my truck. You can get them customized as well if you want a custom plate too with that, and a portion of those funds that you pay come back to the Tennessee division, which help with the many different products you see us do across promotions across the state, as well as we partner with the Tennessee State Museum, and a portion of those funds go back to the State Museum for preserving Confederate artifacts. We've done several flags and several other clothing items over the years. We're looking forward to doing probably another flag, I believe, next. So again, get your tags there in Tennessee at your local county clerk's office. All you have to do is ask for those, and they'll have them available for you. And if they do not have them in stock, they can get them pretty quickly by placing an order for them there. So I encourage you to do that. It's a good way to support the division and support your heritage. And again, have that flag on your license plate. It's an official tag in Tennessee. It helps us so much to do our projects that we do across the state. We couldn't do all this without your support of those tags. One other event, guys, we have coming up is the NB Forrest Picnic 2026. This will be Saturday, July the 11th at Fall Creek Falls State Park. Again, if you're interested in that, the potluck lunch there, it's always a good time if you've been to that in the past. In the Highland Brigades, again, you can reach out to them. I know Jimmy Vincent can help you as brigade commander of the Highland Brigade, and details for you to be there for that event. That's always a good time and a good picnic, and everybody loves a good potluck and always some good food. So that's coming up on Saturday, July the 11th. And guys, before we wrap up tonight, let's talk about once again what's coming up this Saturday. If you haven't made your plans yet, you've got time to go ahead and you can get your room to stay a night, or if you're just going to drive up, if you're in Tennessee, it's the Forrest Homecoming and Southern Heritage Festival this Saturday, June the 20th from 9 till 4 in Chapel Hill at the Nathan Bedford Forrest Boyhood Home. So come be with us. It's going to be a good day, guys. In our closing comments to it, Sean, I'll let you lead off. You've been organizing it. What do folks need to know? Give that invitation one more time.
I think it's going to be one of our best homecoming ever by the people that we've got coming, bringing stuff for Confederate related items. We've got good authors that are going to speak. We got good infantry, cavalry, and artillery demonstrations. It's just going to be a good show, and the weather's not going to be bad. My mother-in-law comes up every year to go to it.
Mm-hmm.
She's from Mobile, and she's already called me and said, "It's not going to rain, is it?" I won't say how old she is. She'd kill me. But she's elderly. I mean, we're all, me and my wife both are, I'm over 50 and she's right at 50. So
you're digging there, Sean. We better just leave it at that.
Yeah, I know.
Give that age away if we're not careful.
I'm not going to say it, but, we look forward to everybody coming up, and it is a great event. And looks like we're going to have a bunch of former CICs of the SCV there this weekend too, which is great.
Yeah, there's several. I know, of course, Jason's going to be there helping us. He's past CIC. I believe Tom Strain said he's coming up. McClooney, the current commander-in-chief. Donnie Kennedy's going to be there. I don't want to leave anybody out. There may be others. Paul Gramling's come in the past. I don't know if he's making it this year. He's been there before because I've seen him there. He's the best dressed man on site.
Yeah.
Speaking about dress, the attire, Sean, anything comfortable? If you want
anything comfortable, bring a hat and sunscreen.
Yeah.
There will be several people selling water, soft drinks, and just stay hydrated. We're going to try to have some fans set up if it gets too hot.
Yep, there are tents, so there's places for you to get under. We'll have the main tent, which will be where the PA system is set up, where all the speakers will happen. I had a comment. Somebody sent me a message here, guys. They asked this question, and we have talked about this. At times, the speakers have overlapped with the artillery demonstrations. We're going to work a little harder this year to make sure the speakers are done when it's time for those, so you can leave the speaking tent and go over there and hear that and come back and forth. So we've got that scheduled together. We're going to do our best to make sure that's a little smoother than that may have been in the past. But again, a good question, and thank you for pointing that out and noting that. But it's going to be a good day. Come pay your $10. Come be with us. Help raise funds for a good cause and a good event at the Nathan Bedford Forrest Boyhood Home. Rich, anything else you want to leave us with tonight?
Yeah, I was going to say, if please immerse yourself for the reenactors. They're hot, and they'll be glad to speak to you. I think the guys in the cavalry will go back over there before they put their show on. Go walk to where they're camped out. Talk to them. They want to see the people talk to them. They want to tell them what's going on with their, talk about their kids, what they do, why they do it. They want to engage with you personally. You don't have to be in the background. When they go, they'll tell you when you have to leave their camp, but go there and talk to them, engage with them.
Yeah, good chance to learn more and getting up close and thing here. I'm gonna leave with this comment here, guys, as we get ready to wrap up. Tom is joking here, so in case anybody reads this later, he is joking. He's kidding. Starting a past CIC GEC meeting, so that's when I should do this right here. Let's throw this. Jason would be telling me, make sure you put the disclaimer on the screen, and there it is. Thank you, Tom. I look forward to seeing Tom on Saturday. And so when we all get in trouble later that we talked about some kind of meeting like that. By the way, we're not having a DEC meeting this Saturday. We took care of that this past week, so everybody has just time to enjoy the day. That's been a first since I've been coming to that. We haven't had that, so it'll be different, but it's going to allow us to be more engaged and enjoy the day. So come out, be with us this coming Saturday from 9 until 4. We want you there with us. We couldn't do it without you. Mm-hmm. We need your support. And guys, I appreciate all y'all do. We couldn't do this without Sean, you leading us there and organizing. Rich, you've been here the whole way, and others. And as we wrap up, Sean, you want to mention our committee. I know you've kind of helped put this committee together, folks that have been behind the scenes here, that have worked hard, that have been with us on our Zoom calls to make this happen.
Of course, we have Gene Andrews. Let's mention Gene first. Gene's always a workhorse, a warrior.
Yeah.
We have Paul Rigsby from the Boyhood Home Camp. I'll just get those two out of the way real quick. We have Rich, Mitch Newman, my brother Kevin.
Yep.
and of course you, John, and
Mhm.
Jason. Jason plays a big part in this, gathering the vendors together, and I'm glad he does that. And he
Yeah.
does an excellent job at that every year.
And that's just a
And
few on our committee. Lee Miller has been on our
Lee
committee.
Miller's on
Mhm.
the committee, yes.
I should have had that list written down. I don't want to leave somebody out, but we've had a lot of folks on the committee and even off the committee that helped to make this possible.
And I want to shout out to Buddy Martin.
Yeah.
Buddy Martin is he lives there in Chapel Hill. He's a member of my camp,
Mm-hmm.
and he is a warrior. He does a lot of stuff and just keeps things going. And you know, it's good to have people that help.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. Well, gentlemen, it's been a good show tonight. We'll wrap up with a couple of things to tell you if you would like to submit items to this show and how you can send in photographs as we're developing this program even more. The email address you can send in photographs with descriptions or information you have going on in Tennessee and also outside of Tennessee we'll share as well. It's Tennessee Tuesday Podcast at gmail.com. You can watch past episodes at TennesseeTuesday.com, and you'll be able to see all of those past episodes. If you missed one and want to go back and watch it again, they are on our YouTube channel. Again, we thank you for watching this evening, and we need to promo our other shows, guys, that are coming up. Of course, we're here every Tuesday night. On Wednesday night is Sean McFall with Look Around Florida. That's at 7 p.m. On Thursday night, the first Thursday night of the month, Commander Kennedy is on with Moose to have Commander's comments, and he'll have other guests during that time as well. And then Look Around Confederation is the other Thursday nights throughout the month at 7 p.m. on SCV Chat. Then Friday night in the Friends of the Douglas Southall Freeman Facebook group, you can request to join with David Pope. He has programs on most Friday nights at 7 p.m. And then Sunday nights, Hardy on History with Michael C. Hardy. That's at 7:30 on that Facebook page, Hardy on History. So some great programs. And then you wrap it up and come back around to Monday night, the original SCV Chat program with Connor and Moose. Always some great content for you. We hope you enjoy it. We do thank you so much, as always, for watching. Again, thank you for all those that are watching tonight and commenting. And I see this one. We'll leave with this comment here. Joey is just home from his camp meeting and is just joining us. Joey, go back and watch the program. And the on-demand version. We did talk about you tonight and your artwork. So go back and watch, and you'll see what we talked about. Sean and Rich, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. I appreciate it as always. And you got what do you got there? There's a picture of General Forrest right there.
Picked that up at the homecoming.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Who made that? You know who made it? That's neat.
It's an OCR. OCR
yes.
did. Tennessee Division OCR.
Oh, very nice. Well, what's it? Woodburn? I guess it's a Woodburn, isn't it?
Yes, Woodburn.
Very nice. Well, come see us this Saturday from 9 to 4 in Chapel Hill at the Nathan Bedford Forrest Boyhood Home. Guys, we'll talk to you soon. Again, thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back with you next week on Tuesday night. Have a great rest of this week, everybody.
We'll see you Saturday. Saturday, guys.
Was your great-grandfather a traitor or a patriot? Today's politically correct are trying hard to take away the heritage of the brave Confederate soldiers who fought and died for their land. But one thing is certain, they can't change history. Those Confederate soldiers were fighting for the same reason soldiers fight today. They were fighting against homeland invasion. We believe that the desecration of the bravery, patriotism, and honor of those men should not be allowed. They were outmanned and outsupplied, but they were never outfought. They were proud men who believed in fighting to protect their dignity, their homes, and their families. If you're the male descendant of a Confederate soldier, we'd welcome you to join with us in the preservation of that heritage. We're the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Check us out on the internet at scv.org or call us at 800-MY-SOUTH. That's 800-697-6884. Sons of Confederate Veterans, dedicated to preserving the reputation of men like Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, and your great-grandfather.